So I'm currently in my 20s, and I made millions of dollars, and I continue to do so. And the one law that has allowed me to do that is the law of assumption. And in the law of assumption, the practical application is very effective. Because a lot of people have a goal, and that goal is very far removed from who they currently are as a person. Even when I think back of when I was 18, and I was still in high school, actually 17, and I started to have the idea of doing this. And once I turned 18, I quit my high school immediately, and I went all in on business. But when I was 17, I had this idea. Started seeing these people online a little bit. And I remember that I found this guy on Instagram called 20s Mentor. And I still have the DMs of this. I'll see if I can pop it up. But I remember messaging this guy. This is many years ago. And I just told him, I just don't see it in front of me. I don't see myself as this successful guy that can actually make this money. I don't feel like it's really possible, even though I'm getting some data, I'm getting some evidence that it might be. But I don't feel it, I don't see it. It's not real enough for me, right? It's still something so out there and maybe, possibly, but it didn't feel like it was connected to me also because I was from the Netherlands and people that I saw doing this was all from America, and I kind of was, out of my own bite over there. Nobody else did the shit that I was trying to do. And when he told me something along the lines of, that's where you need to start. You need to start to see yourself as that. And that is all the law of assumption. And the law of assumption basically, in terms of practical application, just says that you assume to be reality what you want it to be, right? You assume the qualities, the traits, the beliefs to be true, and with conditioning, they become true. Because ultimately, your life, the results that you currently have, is a direct reflection of your internal beliefs. And they've done many studies, many experiments that I'm not all going to list out here. But as a quick example, in Ireland, somewhere they did a study where they interviewed in a small village people, obviously disassociated from the actual experiment, and they asked these people in one of the questions, do you believe that you're a lucky person? And then afterwards they would follow these people and they would go into a store and they would plant like a 50-pound bill or whatever fucking currency they use over there. And the people, 80% of the people who said that they were unlucky didn't see it, didn't pick it up. 80% of the people who said they were lucky picked it up. There's many of those kinds of things that you can find. You can chat GPT the fuck out of this, but it just shows you that your beliefs, your internal beliefs and perceptions about the world, about money, about life, and your beliefs that are even more important about yourself, your identity, is the guiding force that shapes your life. Because you're gonna get a book, right? You're gonna get a couple strategies. You're gonna get a course, coaching, whatever. You're gonna see these strategies, but you're not gonna be able to actually implement them if you don't believe that you can do it, if you don't believe that it's possible in general. And I'll give you another practical application of this, right? Because I just had a meeting with my sales team. There's about 30 people on my sales team that are all making hella money. And, we were going over the mentality that is required to be a successful salesperson in the specific industry that we're in. I mean, life insurance, if you want to know the exact step-by-step of how to reach 10K a month in 90 days and much more beyond that, okay, 10K a month is fucking nothing, right? That's just the first goalpost. They're going to go to 20, 30, 40, 50, and we have actual producers doing those kinds of numbers. All the proof, and also the proof of my earnings and everything, is in the video, in the link in the description. But besides that, I was telling these people, like, listen, ultimately, right, you have your tonality, you have how you speak, you have what you say, how you say it, and when you say it, right? But before that, what is preceding that is your beliefs, okay? The beliefs that you have about sales, the beliefs you have about communication, the beliefs you have about whether it's weird or not to call someone or whatever, the beliefs you have about life insurance, the product that you're in this case selling. Right, so for example, I built with them a belief about life insurance that it's extremely important to have, that everybody should be having this. If you truly believe deep down that life insurance is something that everybody should have and that you're absolutely fucking weird, to be honest, if you don't have it, then you're gonna sub-communicate it over the phone and your micro expressions are gonna tell that belief system to the client. Okay, so this is a funny example because in sales and in communication, you can see very easily in action these mindset principles and these beliefs. And so how we built this belief was obviously through assuming things, right? But you can also look at it like a table, right? So I'm sitting at a table right here that you can't see, but if you have a tabletop, that's the belief, and then you have the legs that are the references that support that belief, that tell you that that belief is true. That's how it works. If you cut out the references, then the belief collapses, right? If you build more references, it fortifies that belief, okay? And so that's all that a belief is. And so what we said is like, okay, let's take the tabletop, that's the belief, like, hey, life insurance is extremely important to have and very urgent to have for anybody that's above 50, okay? Then what we said is like, okay, you're gonna look at, for example, one reference, other guys in the team that are closing very easily and everybody wants it. That's one reference. Another reference is just going on ChatGPT and finding out all the reasons why it's super good to have life insurance and all the bad reasons why it's very bad not to have life insurance, right? And then another reference could be, you know, a personal reference, like, hey, someone passed away in your family and their family was secured, or an emotional reference for you, whatever, right? All those references build the belief system. And now when you call someone up, you're going to be feeling like you're doing them a favor by helping them select the right life insurance policy. And now you're calling up from a tonality that's much more authoritative, that's much more telling them what to do, that's much more, right, effective, bottom line, okay? So that's an example of how those beliefs shape your actions, right? Because otherwise, if you walk around with one reference of this belief, you can take a lot of action, guys. You can be the hardest working fucking guy, but you're still not going to make it work because you're not sub-communicating the right belief system over to your client. Because once again, whatever belief you hold in your mind and how strong that is gets sub-communicated. I'll give you a simple example. One of the guys did a little role play on the call and he said, okay, so he was doing the role play. Hey, so do you already have something in place for life insurance or anything like that? And the person in the role play said no. And then you said, oh, you don't. He said it in this way that communicates that that's very strange, that that's weird, that that's unexpected for him. Okay, and so that transfers the belief system over to the client. That once again, this is something you should absolutely have already. And there's even a slight embarrassment because of what you just said in that way there. And that creates the belief system in the client. So once again, bringing it back, that is about life insurance, but also these beliefs you have about yourself, right? So for example, the belief of that you're a hard worker, or the belief that you are a procrastinator, the belief of anything. Guys, ultimately becoming successful is pretty fucking simple. You choose a path, an external path, right, to success, a vehicle that's gonna allow you to create success. And that could be, for example, life insurance sales, like it is for me and like it is for my guys. And if you want to know more about that path, I can show you all the strategic stuff, all the numbers, all the proof at the link in this description. Or, And from there, once you have the path to success, right, and you have a mentor who shows you the path and who helps you and who gives you the strategic side, then you just need to build yourself as the person that can actually get to those goals. So you need to ask yourself the following thing. You need to take yourself through 3 simple steps. Number 1 is awareness. You need to ask yourself, who am I currently in terms of the psychological pyramid that I'll explain to you right now. I'll pop it on the screen. This is an NLP principle. Your environment, your behavior, your skills, your beliefs and values, your identity, and your mission. Okay? At each level, you're going to define who am I currently, right? That's maybe suboptimal for my goals. And what do I need to be, right, to be able to get to my goals easily? And the way that you trigger yourself to get those answers on the right side, because you might not know directly, is you ask yourself, if I was already at this level of success, then what would it be at this environment level? Then what kind of behavior would I have? I would be waking up early. I wouldn't be checking my phone throughout the day. Simple shit. Then what beliefs would I have? Well, I believe that success is great. I believe that money, making a lot of money is good. I believe that being in the spotlight is great. I believe that hard work leads to more fulfillment. Whatever it is for you. Another way that you can trigger yourself to get to those beliefs and get to those things is ask yourself who else is at that point, and ask yourself, what do they believe? What behavior do they have? What skills do they have, right? That allows them to be at that point of success. And then bring that into your own identity and psychological pyramid map. Okay, map it all out. That's the awareness part, right? The awareness part is what's not working. Then step 2 is the choice part. So choose what is going to work for you. On the left side, you put what's not working right now. On the right side, you put what will work for you. okay? And then step 3 is to condition it in. Condition the right side into yourself in the present moment. And the way that you do that, like I said here, is by assuming it to already be true, okay? And that is one of the ways that you use to condition this in. Because you're literally going to go into a sales call, going to go into your day, whatever it may be at that point in time, from the assumption that you already did. So what I like to say is the following. Your identity is the guiding force in your life. Right? That is on the macro perspective who you are. It basically means the habitual place that you come from in any specific aspect of life, right? In any specific activity, whatever it may be. That's your identity. Okay, so you're insecure. That's your habitual emotional home to come from. How do you change that? You start assuming security. You start assuming certainty, right? And you start coming from certainty. And that is called your mental stance, okay? We all have a physical stance, right? And if you want to learn, for example, boxing, they're going to teach you not to stand like this, but to stand like this, or to stand like this, or to stand like this if you're slick with it. I dropped my fucking phone, not so slick with it. So you're gonna, that's the awareness and the choice, what style you're gonna have, right? Affiliate, shell, high guard, whatever. And then over time, you're gonna condition it in by pushing yourself to consciously choose to have your hands up. And then over time, that's gonna become your new habit. And now it's your new physical stance. Now it's your new boxing stance. Same idea happens with your mental stance. So you assume a new mental stance and you start coming from them and you start consciously putting yourself in that position, and then you fortify it every time that you do it. And times that you catch yourself not doing it, you say, not that. Literally those words, not that, and you shift back over to the right trajectory, okay? So you use your conscious awareness to shift yourself into that state, okay? So that is the assumption. Then additionally, you're gonna be able to obviously visualize, you're gonna be able to affirm to yourself and do internally what we just discussed that you did externally. Because internally, your brain cannot basically feel the difference, know the difference between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience if you can feel it whilst you're imagining it, okay? Feeling is the secret here. So if you're able to get to that point where you're really feeling it, then you can get the same results, or you can speed up the results by doing it internally as well. Imagining, seeing yourself being very confident, speaking very confident, and stepping into yourself, seeing it from the first person, right, etc. This is rewiring your self-image. This is rewiring the subconscious blueprint that's laying there, that's guiding your actions when you're not consciously paying attention. And so once you really rewire that more and more, that's gonna become your new habitual home, emotional home, and that's where you're gonna be coming from. And that is going to be the biggest key in allowing you to actually change your results, change your life, and become really fucking successful. Okay? So take those 3 steps into account. You have awareness, okay, my bad. You have your choice of what you need to be, and then you condition it in through the ways that I've just told you in this video, all right? And once again, if you start doing that and you want a path to pour all of your energy into, that's going to be able to get you paid 10 to 50K a month, even 100K a month, right? Then click the link in the description, check out the video. There's a free training. It's about 40 minutes long. It's extremely detailed with all the numbers, all the external strategic stuff. And here I've been focused on the internal stuff. That's gonna allow you to see how you're gonna be able to get this. Now, this is not for everybody. If you're a person who just doesn't fucking like speaking to people and you have no ambition to be good at that, you have no ambition to be confident, you either don't like it, and or you also don't want to be it or like it in the future or be good at it, then this is not for you. If you're someone who just wants to look at spreadsheets all day and crunch numbers, that's probably not for you. Okay, but if you're someone who is either good at talking to people or wants to be good at talking to people and enjoys learning that skill, enjoys learning confidence, enjoys becoming a very charismatic person, etc., whilst making a fuck ton of money, then this is the exact career path for you. Okay, because this is basically like having a business without all the usual headache of having a business. But at the same time, it's still super entrepreneurial to where you have the benefits and the upsides and the scalability of a business. This is different than any other sales position you'll find, but the most important part is getting it right between the ears, okay? So shift who you believe yourself to be on a deeper level through the 3 steps, condition it in, don't give up. And if you feel like you want to give up, then reflect on why you wanted to do this in the first place. Reflect why you want to change your identity in the first place, because you want those results, and why do you want those results? And that needs to light a fucking fire in your ass, because the leverage comes before any change. If you don't have the leverage to do something, to take action, to even want to change your identity and change your beliefs and use the law of assumption and use these psychological principles I mentioned to you here, then you're not going to be able to do it, because it does require work, it does require hustle, and it requires grit. But once you get there, then it's automatic, and it's going to be much more easy sailing from there. I hope that helped, and who knows, maybe you and I will meet very soon.